Number 16. It is proposed to allow the sale without prescription of a medication that physicians currently prescribe to treat the common ear inflammation called swimmer's ear. So this is talking about a proposal where they can sell this medication that they can use to treat a common ear infection, right? Common ear inflammation without a physician prescribing this medication or drug. And the next sentence, the principal objection is that most people lack the expertise for proper self-diagnosis and might not seek medical help for more serious conditions in the mistaken belief that they have swimmer's ear. So this is saying, hey, well, maybe we shouldn't let, just anyone buy this, because maybe if they have swimmer's ear, they should go see the doctor, right? Because if they diagnose themselves and think that it's swimmer's ear when it's not, they might not seek help when they might be having a more serious condition, right? Yet, in a recent study of 1,000 people who suspected that they had swimmer's ear, 84% made a correct diagnosis, a slightly better accuracy rate than physicians have in diagnosing physician's ear. So this is saying, hey, a lot of people made a correct diagnosis and they were actually even better than the physicians, right? They were more accurate than the physicians in diagnosing swimmer's ear. The concluding sentence is saying, thus, clearly most people can diagnose swimmer's ear in themselves without ever having to consult a physician. So their conclusion is, well, people can diagnose it themselves, so maybe we should let them, right? I think the assumption there would be like maybe we should, or the inference there would be maybe we should let people buy this without a physician involved because they can diagnose themselves pretty well. So the question's asking which one of the following, if true, most undermines the conclusion. So we're trying to say, hey, maybe people can't diagnose swimmer's ear without ever having to consult a physician, right? What would best say that? Let's see. Cases in which a swimmer's ear progresses to more serious infections are very rare. Well, does that tell us that people should consult a physician? Does that tell us that people diagnosing swimmer's ear probably consulted a physician? Not really, right? That's not really saying anything about consulting a physician, and it doesn't really talk about people diagnosing themselves, so A is not going to be our answer. B, most of those who suspected incorrectly that they had swimmer's ear also believed that they had other ailments that they in fact did not have. So that's saying, hey, people incorrectly thought that they had other conditions. That's not telling us that they incorrectly diagnosed swimmer's ear, so that's probably not our answer, right? That's not very relevant directly to our conclusion. Maybe they're bad at, guessing or diagnosing other ailments, but maybe they're really good at diagnosing swimmer's ear. C, most of the people who diagnosed themselves correctly had been treated by a physician for a prior occurrence of the swimmer's ear. So this mentions both a physician and people diagnosing themselves, so it's very closely tied to the conclusion. C is saying, hey, the people who diagnosed themselves correctly, so that's talking about the study, right? People who correctly diagnosed themselves. Most of those people had been treated by a physician before for swimmer's ear. So maybe when they get diagnosed by a physician, they learn, oh, this is what swimmer's ear feels like. This is what swimmer's ear is. And so maybe that's why they incorrectly diagnosed themselves. So then we've undermined our conclusion, right? Because the conclusion is saying, hey, most people can diagnose themselves without ever having to consult a physician. But actually, if the people in the study, most of them that did correctly diagnose themselves, if most of them had already been to the doctor, then we can't say that they can diagnose it without ever having consulted a physician, right? So this seems like a really, really good answer. Let's check out C and D, but that perfectly undermines the conclusion. Physicians who specialize in ear diseases are generally able to provide more accurate diagnoses than those provided by general practitioners. So this is differentiating between physicians and general practitioners and how accurate their diagnoses are. That doesn't really tell us whether people can accurately diagnose themselves without consulting a physician, right? So that's probably not going to be our answer. For many people who develop swimmer's ear, the condition disappears without medical or pharmaceutical intervention. So this tells us, hey, maybe they don't have to consult a physician, but it does not address the main point of the conclusion, which is that most people can diagnose it in themselves, right? So that's also probably not our answer. So C is our answer here.